Hey everyone, so today I just wanted to share with you a few of my favorite stretches that I use personally and give out to a lot of my clients. These stretches are general, however they do target areas that are most often jammed with a lot of my clients and just in the current population with the way we sit. So we are looking mostly at the hips and the shoulders, chest, and upper back area. So I'm not a yogi, I'm going to do my best to explain these stretches the best I can. But what you want to do is stretch. You can stretch these a few times a week, that would be fantastic. Hold each stretch for about 45 to 60 seconds and make sure that you are stretching more muscles. Do not just drop into an intensive stretch with really cold muscles. So take a quick walk or do a couple of warm-up exercises, but stretch more muscles. So the first one is pigeon pose, which I think you're probably all familiar with, but a couple of things that I didn't know when I was told to start doing pigeon pose 8 or so years ago, I wanted to point out. So what you want to do is come into a plank position, bring your right knee to your right hand. Now in this position, you want to make sure that your goal, and this won't happen overnight, and you can see my right ear is actually tighter than my left, but your goal is to get this shin parallel to the edge of your mat. So this foot shouldn't be tucked under. Your goal is to open up that knee. Now from here, you do want to come down on the back knee and unbend your foot. Where a lot of people fail here is they lean into this outside hip here. And what you actually want to do is bring your back hip forward and down, squaring off your hips. That's what really targets in this exercise or in this stretch. The other thing is not to let this leg just be loosey-goosey. You do want to keep it in line. So don't let your ankle flare out. Try and keep it neutral. And you can come down your forearms if that's available to you, or stay up. But either way, you're keeping your hips squared while you sink down into that hip. So obviously you're going to do your other side, plank position, left knee to your left hand. Bring the back leg down. I like to move it a little bit further back. Try and open up your knee as much to get your shin parallel to the front of your mat. Activate the back leg and come down. You're going to hang out for about 45 to 60 seconds on this leg. Okay, the next hip one is also an inner thigh opener, and it's called frog stretch. Now, I used to hate this stretch. It took me a long time to be okay with it. But basically what you're going to do is take your knees nice and wide. In this position, your goal is to get your ankle directly in line with your knees. So not up here, not by your bum, one straight line with your feet flexed. From there, you're going to come down on your elbows, keeping your feet flexed. Your goal is to push your bum back. So you should be able to stretch your inner thighs here. Now, where a lot of clients fail is they stick out their bum. They drop their low back. I want you to keep a neutral back and move more through your hips and your inner thighs. It's not going to feel great. This one takes a little bit to get used to, especially when you're holding, but it is an awesome stretch. So for this one particularly, you do want to hold at least 60 seconds. Like I said, it's not great. Make sure you're not just hanging and dropping into your joints, but actually kind of moving around and pushing into that stretch as deep as comfortable, and make sure you're breathing. It's kind of an important one. Okay, so the next two are for your thoracic spine, so your upper back. I'm just going to take off my sweater to better show you. So you will need a bench or a chair or stairs, whatever you have available. And the first step is to place your elbows on the bench. So when I do this, I'm placing my elbows very neutral. I'm not allowing them to flare out. They're neutral. They go on the bench. My hands clasped. I walk my feet back. From here, I'm pushing my chest down into the floor. Not dropping my low back, that stays neutral, but I'm pushing my chest into the floor and kind of opening up my underarms to the floor. You should feel this all through your shoulders, your upper back. I like to press my fingers into each other, and you're just going to hold. Okay, so opening up the shoulders, the chest, and the upper back, and just getting a bit more movement in there is crucial because we spend so much time kind of locked in here doing everything that we forget to stretch and open up, and our upper backs just don't move. So the other one is a spin off of that one, except it's going to work kind of unilaterally. So hands neutral on the bench, walk it back even further, arms straight, you drop into those arms. So again, don't drop your back, keep a nice neutral back, press into the arms, and I just want you to lean side to side. So lean, you're gonna switch. When you lean into the side, you should feel this all down your tricep, your shoulder, and your lats. And again, just pressing gently into your upper back. You're not dropping your head. Your head stays kind of in line with your shoulders, and you're not sticking out your bum. Push through the upper back, lean side to side, pause, make it feel good. Okay, I actually use this one as a warm-up with my strength clients, and they do mini rotations, but that does get a bit intense. intense, so stick to just the stretch. Again, just open up the upper back. The next two are for your chest. So our chests kind of suck when it comes to tightness. So for these ones, I will admit they're a bit finicky. And what I mean by that is you have to play with your placement until you feel the stretch. So the first one, what you want to do is come into a T position on the floor. You're going to keep your arms straight. And this left arm is going to come up, and I'm just pressing on my fingers to push into my right arm. So as I'm doing this, whether or not you have to have your arm up here to feel it more, a little bit lower, try straight out. I'm not letting my hips roll up. When I press, my hips stay rather low, my head stays on the mat, and I'm pressing into my shoulder. So you do want to feel this one in your shoulder or your upper chest. You're not pressing hard, and you're not jerking up. You're not raising up. You're just pressing your body out against that arm. So that one's a relatively easy one. And then to take it one step further, you make a W with your arms. So my arms are both in a W. And again, one arm is going to come up on the fingertips and press into the floor, pushing my body into that other arm. Now this one is a little bit more finicky. So what I mean is you may have to have your W down here, up a little higher, extend it at your elbow. You do want to so I need mine about there. You do want to play with the positioning to see just how it feels and what feels best from a stretch perspective. And come up. So tweak it a little bit and go with kind of where you feel it more. So those are my favorite 6 stretches to give to, honestly, just about everyone. They do bodies wonders. But you have to play with them. So rock them a couple times a week if you can. That would be great. Help open up your upper back and your hips. And just don't forget that your muscles should be warm before you stretch them. So enjoy.